Here's a summary of the event story for Digimon New Century, Lost Island. A mysterious island has suddenly appeared within virtual space. Once someone sets foot on it, they supposedly can't find their way back. Locals have taken to calling it the Lost Island. It's the kind of tale that sounds like an urban legend. Take Arpa Island, for instance. Its sightseeing train reportedly has 13 stops. But rumor has it there's a secret 14th station that can only be accessed with special methods. Some say it's haunted. Well, isn't that stop just DTF? You need to swipe a staff member's access card to enter, otherwise it'd be a waste of resources to run back and forth from this central plaza to DTF every day, and those aren't ghosts, they're just colleagues pulling overtime in this central control room. The overtime resentment levels are already pretty high, so calling them ghosts is a bit much. As for Lost Island, it might be a stretch to say no one can return, but the number of missing persons has raised serious concerns. Even DTF has gotten involved. The goal now? Locate the tourists stranded on the island and bring them back safely. It seems the disappearances aren't due to data manipulation. This is happening on a physical level. The Lost Island only emerged in the virtual space a week ago, coinciding with the firewall expansion. The DTF hasn't even done a preliminary survey yet, and technically, no tourists should be on the island at all. But rules are one thing. Plenty of people have ignored them, rushing in to snatch rare resources before the DTF can officially secure the area. This can't be the United Army's doing. Kidnapping people one by one just isn't their style. It's too slow, too inefficient. And Alice, she's vanished without a trace. The team suspects the island may be hollow. The interior space is far too vast for something naturally formed. That alone casts doubt on its origin. The structure gives off the impression of a disguised base rather than terrain shaped by normal virtual formation. The question arises again, could this actually be something created by the Allied forces after all? After reuniting with Alice and Yoko, they uncover that the island's interior is built like a manufacturing hub, churning out mechanical components. The outer terrain appears to be nothing more than a superficial layer of masking data. Those who had stumbled onto the island had been scattered and put to work in separate sectors under tight surveillance by numerous mechanical Digimon. It becomes clear this isn't just some hidden zone, it's the United Army's base. The suspicion arises that their facility may have accidentally extended into virtual space during the recent firewall expansion. Just as this realization sets in, a new figure confronts the group with hostility. Who are you? How dare you break into the Tianji factory? I can use you to fill in the missing data? Alice managed to locate some of the missing tourists, but they're scattered and locked away in various sectors of the island. To free them all, she must first find the control room. While the island's code differs from typical virtual space architecture and can't be modeled directly, they did identify the internal wiring structure. All lines converge at one central node, likely the control hub. However, because the island's layout resists proper analysis, they advise calling for reinforcements. The situation escalates. The guards have been alerted, and there's no time to delay. The team shifts focus to retrieving as many hostages as possible and plans for the reinforcements to handle the larger evacuation effort. Too late. The deletion process in the control room has begun, but interestingly, the production lines remain active. That hints at the true priority here, not the manufactured parts, but the data itself. They move quickly to copy whatever fragments they can before the system wipes everything. If the deletion completes, the entire island could collapse. Then comes a new threat. Mugendramon appears. Humans, you'll understand once you witness our ultimate weapon. Judging by previous reports mentioning a space-based factory, the pieces produced here appear to be satellite components. The presence of Ebimon already challenged assumptions, so perhaps it isn't so strange they've begun building satellites too. But what for? Digimon don't use communication networks. That's when the realization hits. Satellites have other purposes. This isn't about communication, it's about weaponry, satellite weapons. Digimon have been studying human technology, and their capacity to absorb and repurpose knowledge is unnerving. From nuclear weapons to orbital systems, nothing remains untouched. In the unfolding of the Nezhamon Crimson Mode event, Jesmon reveals a major historical moment, the War of the Fallen Gods. According to him, nearly everyone perished in that conflict. After their defeat, Omegamon collected most Digi-eggs from Yggdrasil's side and escaped into a dimensional rift. However, Takudamon's Digi-egg was captured by the Union Army during a transfer and hatched under their control. Though now aligned with the DTF, his egg had been tampered with, so his memories were overwritten to prevent a data crash. While Erlangmon remains unhatched for safety reasons, the DTF believes his emergence could pose a threat to humanity. He's being monitored carefully. The only clear thing remembered about the end of the war was an entity that wasn't a complete Digimon, but pure data. This being appeared to draw from the Four Perils and other unidentified figures. Simulations by the central system show Erlangmon would eventually betray humanity, seize Tira's control, and attempt to revive Yggdrasil, which he believes must be repaired to prevent digital world collapse. Alphamon opposes this belief, stating that Yggdrasil never disappeared. It simply lost its will. The Royal Knights had once communicated with it through an older method, long before the Tianji even came to exist. The digital world changed significantly after its merging, leading to numerous ports to Yggdrasil resurfacing, most now inactive. Today, it's governed by the four holy beasts. The primordial realm, though accessible, is risky to enter as it may draw the attention of these guardians, though during the Union Army's final battle, they will be too preoccupied in virtual space to intervene. Alphamon explains his stance. Yggdrasil's plan may not be wrong. The digital world has only survived due to the war's toll. So many Digimon perished that data consumption dropped drastically. Omegamon transferring Yggdrasil-aligned Digi-eggs to the human world helped stabilize things. The Union Army wages war on humanity to avoid a second collapse, knowing peace is maintained only because of virtual space. When a Digimon partners with a human, D0 sustains their evolution data, a fragile balance. Jukiaomon criticizes DTF actions, evacuating civilians from virtual space, pushing Digimon back to the digital world, altering virtual space regulations, all tolerated, but secretly hatching Yggdrasil followers? That crosses a line. The newborn army had already broken free from the demon lords during the War of the Fallen Gods. The Unbound, however, remained separate. Alphamon adds that Yggdrasil's malfunctioning code causes instability in Digimon, but he used Yggdrasil's authority to filter this interference. Nezhamon himself is a product of this error data, which is why he remains unaffected. Further investigation suggests the anomaly at the war's center wasn't a Digimon at all, only raw data designed to exist briefly within a specific formation. Luzmon anticipated all of this. Alphamon says he once explored the primordial realm before the war, but Yggdrasil wiped his memory. He had crossed the forbidden line. Evidence shows Yggdrasil suffered several data crashes long before the war. Though it kept rebuilding itself, the corrupted error data was never cleared, leading to a perpetual loop of attempted repairs and eventually total system failure. The first crash occurred shortly after the new digital world's merger. Erlangmon confirms this, stating that the Tianji were created in response. With repeated failed repairs, the system bundled and isolated the corrupted data, each piece carrying Yggdrasil-level authority. They had to be sealed to prevent misuse. But once sealed, Yggdrasil's self-repair shut down, and the world's excess data began growing uncontrollably, triggering the current data crisis. The Tianji's purpose was to delay the collapse. Erlangmon insists this proves Yggdrasil's actions weren't wrong. Without them, the digital world wouldn't have lasted this long. It even erased its will to maintain the system automatically. As for Nezhamon, how he absorbed the corrupted data remains unknown. Takutomon had been assigned to eliminate him if necessary, but chose to trust him instead. Nezhamon lived up to that trust. Yet a final warning is issued. Feeding error data back into Yggdrasil could erase the digital world altogether. Luzmon could exploit that opening, hijack Tira, and install himself as God. He's already moved between worlds via Cognitus and might know secrets unknown to even the Tianji. Capturing Luzmon alive is proposed as a way forward, one that even the four holy beasts would have to approve.